name is Alex Bell. I am the Beverage Director here at Aviary Wine and Kitchen, and today we are going to be enjoying a little bit of Los Bermejos Listan Negro from Lanzarote. So, traveling to the Canary Islands now, a fantastical space that I pray I will end up in at the end of my days, but not specifically in Lanzarote. Lanzarote is one of the most aggressive parts of the Canary Islands, where the winds are so intensely volatile that literally it could not only rattle your brain loose from your skull, but it also can whip the actual grapes off the vine with such ease and such intensity that there have been all of these major efforts done by the insane folk that dedicate themselves to the farming practices and pursuit of incredible viticulture that occurs on Lanzarote. So first off, you're talking a volcanic island of almost pure ash. So you have this silty, almost unmovable soil that feels like walking on sand, and if anyone's ever challenged you to take a run on the beach during vacation, you know the pure masochism that can be. Well, imagine walking up and down it with crates upon crates of grape varietals. Your calves are going to be the talk of the town. But not only that, they also have these exceptionally unique kind of concavial, almost scraped out spaces in which they bury the vines down within. Those vines not only are buried inside these concavial lunar surface looking things, but they also then have to build what is like a small wall around the actual wind facing side, so that the wind actually hits this wall, protects the vines themselves, and diverts them in other directions. Very akin to the basket weaving practices that you find in certain Grecian isles. This is how Lanzarote had to develop their practices to be able to protect their vines so that they could forever begin to produce wine from said vines. Also, this wind is so aggressive, it keeps off the birds from sneaking on the berries. It keeps off any real needs for herbicides and pesticides, because you're going to have no ability for any form of aggressive moistures to stay on the vines themselves, so you don't have to worry as much about rot and things of that like. This is 100% Listan Negro, which I absolutely get giddy for. In other parts of the world, there has been some belief that it might also be the synonym for país in Chile, but you also see it planted in Mexico now, which is super fun for some of our new Baja-based producers. Oh yeah, okay. This is good time wine. Right off the nose, you just get wafted with this wonderful bouquet of stunning red fruit, but first it's fresh sliced blood orange all day. There's little bits of mashed down cranberry in there, like grandma's preparing the cranberry sauce for the natural Thanksgiving, the handmade Thanksgiving. No canned rings on this cranberry sauce, I tell you that much. Ew. There's a little bit of like dark brooding chocolate in there, but it's almost a little spicy too. I also just can't get over the really 1 to 2 pieces of cracked black pepper crust you get around this side of the meatiness of this. Almost like freshly roasted pastrami that's just been finished off with a rainbow peppercorn crust. It's got wonderful spice and savory umami to it. Dive in a bit. Acidity to tannin, acidity to tannin. It's just like, woo, watch them dance. So much fun. It keeps on going. So a really nice long finish. I love that you get some of those mirrored fruits coming back. That black cherry is there for sure. You're definitely getting a little bit more of a sweeter kind of confectionery cherry too. Not the meat of it, but maybe once the Luxardo jar has been emptied and you just smell the remnants the same way you listen to the ocean for reflections of what was once there. Oh, wow. I really love the blackberry coulis that's coming off this. Little stewed down rhubarb too. Everything really is swimming in spice though. You get a little bit of grandma's baking cabinet, cinnamon, nutmeg, dashes of clove. You still get the savory side of the cabinet with that cracked black pepper tones coming out, and then just fun, almost ashy kind of sultry cigarette in the distance with the cross legs and the high heel energy coming out. Stiletto cig, that's what I'm vibing, and it's really, really easy drinking. Cheers everybody. What a beautiful wine. Ooh, and island wines, just takes you to vacation. I could drink a lot of this. Hamburgers all day. But like a roasted pork loin, bacon wrapped, this would scream for fat. It would really love the fatty richness of some bacon in there. The pork loin itself, the pork tenderloin, maybe with a dash of mustard crust, because that spice I think will get ignited by some Dijon energy throughout. You could, without a doubt, go into any type of barbecue. I mean, we're in Texas, right? Let's look to our briskets. Let's look to our pork ribs. Let's even, maybe muck around with some rotisserie chicken or blackened catfish. All of that being here for this and really celebrating it with that red fruit to kind of embrace some of the smoke, as it was born from smoky soils, and then also just a little bit of softening agents to the umami polytones. If you don't buy this wine, I will. Cheers, y'all.